So we're debuting the Adrian Belew signature E-pedal called the Impossible pedal. And what it does is it allows you to have two separate pitches you choose, and then you can actually do hammer-ons with your feet. So it just jumps an interval from whatever you're playing. And Adrian has found multiple ways in the past to do this that were pretty complicated. And we kind of streamlined it and made it so it's available to everybody. And Adrian is, as you probably know, pretty adept at integrating technology and creativity. And we feel like that's kind of the mission and the idea of the iStomp 2, is to take technology to create inspiration for musicians. So, that being said, do you want to come up here, Adrian, and do a little blah-de-blah about...
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. Thanks, everyone, for coming by. As he said, I'll tell you a little more of the backstory. I used to do this little trick that makes me sound like I play faster than I can play with the original whammy pedal. And I would just take the treadle and tune it to the note that I want, get it in that position, and then I could turn it on and off. But then I kept complaining to these guys and saying, well, there's got to be a better way to do it than that, because I keep hitting the treadle and it goes out of tune. So they built the Harmony Man pedal, and that was the next step up where I could actually start doing what I'll show you. And now we've made it even better with this iStomp idea, which I think is brilliant. You can download a lot of different pedals. Hopefully you'll download the Impossible pedal and you'll play so impossibly you'll never download another, but that's okay. So what it does is this. He just explained it. I'll show you. If I'm playing one note like this, I'm just going to play one note, and I'll show you what I can do with my foot without touching the guitar even. That's not easy to do with real fingers, so now I'll show you something that's actually probably not possible for me to play. And it's not really, I'm not playing much with my hands. You'll see, I'll show you. And then you'll see that if I actually start playing something with my hands, then it really starts sounding like I know what I'm doing and I'm playing a lot of notes. Here we go. I'll just play this. See, I've been doing that for years, and people have been going, how does he play so fast, you know? He must sit there in his bedroom for 10 hours a day. I actually practice about 10 hours a year, and I just do this instead. So when you want to do some real nice soloing, and what the nice thing about it is, you won't really know what notes you're playing. This is not stuff you would actually think ahead to do. Most of the time, I just play in the key that I like, that I'm supposed to play in, and play kind of blues licks or regular licks, you know, and with stepping and off on with this pedal, it changes it so much that it sounds like I'm making all kinds of impossible leaps that I would never think to do. There you go. And that's how you do it. And it's impossible sounding, but I just did it, as you saw. Very easy, really. So I love this pedal. I've always wanted to have this. I'm so glad we're doing it. I'm really glad it's in this format, because I think it's you know, very forward-looking idea that you can take something from your iPhone and in 30 seconds have it in one of these pedals. And if you want something else later, do the same thing over and over and over. It's a brilliant idea. Did you guys win the Tech Award last night?
No. Jay was there.
I knew it was rigged. I knew it. Well, they deserve it. I know you have won other awards for the iStomp series. This is the first artist pedal they have. I think now they have over 40 pedals to choose from. And you know, they run the whole gamut of everything from delays and fuzzes and, you know, choruses and things, but there's only one impossible pedal. And if you see the design that we made for the app that you would download, it's impossible looking too. it's got buttons on one side and things coming out the other side, and this is one of those MC Escher type things, you know. So that's it. That's the Impossible pedal, and you can come up and try it, I guess, at some point.
Let's do a little Q&A if we can. Have you have any questions about it? Silence, really?
Okay, let's talk about something else then.
Well, let me hit a couple of quick data points. So, what are the intervals? Selectable.
They are selectable. So if you could see this pedal, it has 4 knobs across the top, right? The first knob selects one interval. The second knob determines whether or not that interval is an octave up or an octave down. The third knob selects the second interval that you want, and the fourth knob tells you whether or not you want that one up or lower. So you can get riffs that go up and down or backwards or any way you want, you know. And you set them at whatever you want them to be. You can change them, of course, easily. I have this one over here. I have it set to a minor third above and then a fifth above. And I find that mostly, whatever you're playing, that will cause notes that will fit, generally speaking. You're not going to go too crazy with the notes. So if you're just playing with those 2 settings, it sounds like I've just been showing you. But just to show you, I've got this other one over here, a second one that they've let me have, to demonstrate that you could set it so many other ways. Here's how the other one sounds. And of course you could have 2 if you wanted and have 4 intervals. Or you could even take the pedal and just have 1 interval by tuning them the same way. So Billy knows, what are the intervals we have in here?
We have minor third, major third, fourth, fifth, and seventh and octave.
Minor third, major third, fourth, fifth, seventh, and octave. And that's plenty for me, yeah. And most of those things will not, you know, they'll fit with what you play. Especially because if you're playing fast enough, it's all passing notes anyway. So there won't be any bad notes unless you decided to play a bad note on purpose. Now let's have some questions. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Niners?
Niners.
I hope so. Well, okay, never mind. I don't want to make any enemies here. Really, anyone have questions about this pedal? It sounds simple because it is simple. And in fact, when you're playing, you don't really have to play fast to make it. It's better almost to play something a little slower because you're adding so many notes in. So, you know, it's not like you have to shred to make this happen right. It's easy. Anybody can do it. Yes?
What's the cost of the app?
The cost of the app is $20. $20 for that.
Actually, let me clarify that the app itself, the Stomp Shop, is free, but Adrian's pedal is $20.
Right.
And all the rest of the e-pedals range in price anywhere from $5 all the way up to obviously $20.
Is it available now?
It is.
Got to pay the big bucks for my stuff, see. With the kids to feed and stuff like that.
Yeah, $20 whole dollars.
$20 whole dollars. Do you need to know anything else about the iStomp system? You should probably talk to any of these guys and they can show you how it works. But it's very, very simple. You have one of these little iStomp boxes is, I think, what?
$150.
$150. $150, that's all you need. From there, you can download all the different types of pedals that you want. And as I say, change in that wheel anytime you want. So you can set up a lot of different sounds in a hurry, and only have to carry a couple small little pedals that are very light. So if you're traveling around the world, as I often am, it's really nice to have so little to do so much. What about another question? Yes?
Maybe it's just because it's early, but like it almost sounded like the gain of the volume of the notes that when you went lower to the lower were slightly less volume. Can you adjust the gain of the when you activate and deactivate?
It should be the same. There's no adjustment for gain because it should be.
Yeah, unity. Yeah.
Should be. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
it should be equal.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
what
that's
are
what you want. You don't want them to be louder or softer.
in the knobs? What can you adjust as far as parameters for this effect?
Okay, I'll explain it again. You have 4 knobs. They're basically the same thing twice. So
Oh.
knob number 1 and knob number 2 are the same as knob 3 and 4. Knob number 1, you select the interval you want. I'll show you here. Knob number 2 is whether or not you want it to go up higher than the note you play or an octave lower. So I'll change this, the same button, I'll change this octave one here to be higher now. Now you see, once again I'll be playing something you really physically couldn't play because the notes are too far apart.